Hennessy. No, either sun case. You know I gotta talk to you about your man Ron Robinson. Well, I feel like I saw Melina in here.
Oh, the dummies looking at me. I'm like, where? I'm always in the back. July 8th.
It's like a rerun a new feed. You let Jeffrey know. I just posted it back in the group. He was the only one I could see that was looking, but appreciate it.
Be the last
one. That's what my sister said. So she had on that, you know what? She had 4.
Mm-hmm.
Next one's not a girl.
And the VIP members.
So, but she has a granddaughter. So.
And I'm going to pin that to the top.
Six. All of them are great. Yeah. Well, some days we don't know when to come to going.
I want to introduce you to a few of these amazing faces. Some of them were unable to be here tonight. Zandra Bailey is our VP of Communications with Boulevard Events. Ashika Jordan is our VP of Membership. Those of you who are here, please stand up and wave. Cicely Waits is our VP of Programming. Sergey is our manager of all things technological.
Obvious.
Olinka is our social media manager. So all of those posts that you've seen in the last few days are her doing. We have Ashley Lovely, which is our community liaison, because we want to make sure that we give back. And if you guys know of any organizations that need volunteers or donations, we are open to looking for some for this year because we've been blessed and we want to bless others. Next, we have Naima Bellencourt. She is one of our hospitality managers, along with Anisha. She is also a hospitality manager. And Sharva, whom you guys met up at the front, is part of the hospitality committee. And our sergeant at arms, Mr. Darren Waits. So I'd like to introduce you to your 2023 Chic Council. Now, I'm going to introduce Cicely Waits to come up and talk about the next section of our program.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming again. Give yourself a hand that you made it safely. Is the food good? Well, it's silent. So that's, as a cook myself, I understand that's the best compliment when it gets quiet when everybody's eating. So continue dinner. But we have two wonderful speakers coming tonight. Well, we have more than two, but the whole purpose of tonight's meeting is to get you to set up for your next step. So y'all just forgive me, right? I'm just gonna be me because I'm me wherever I am. So you're giving a little bit, right?
Come on
But
now.
God, He's trying to get you prepared for the next step. He's trying to enlarge your territory, correct? All right, so we know relationship capital is very important. That's why we're part of the Chic Network, because we build on networking and we build on those authentic relationships. That's how we make our money. But it's also good when you have some money in your pocket, that actual financial capital. So we have some speakers coming tonight that are gonna help you set up your business, whatever state that you're in now, so you can move on to the next step. They can get you prepared where you don't even have to walk in the bank. They'll help you get the money on your behalf. Ain't that something? What? So we have two lovely speakers that are going to give us the top 3 things that a bank lender will never tell you. Please welcome Brooke Sims and Kendra Gouge.
Good, right into the camera. How is everybody doing tonight? It is a pleasure to see you. I feel extremely fortunate to be here. My name is Brooke Sims. I am a very recent employee of First United Bank. I had the pleasure of working with Kendra and a couple others that you meet here. And I feel honored not only because I'm here and I get a chance to speak to you, but it is not often that you leave an organization on such good terms that you can come back and be an advocate and the spokesperson for it. So I am delighted. I'm gonna take a pause so Kendra can introduce herself and turn it over.
Hi everyone, I'm Kendra Gouge. That's how you say it, it's Gouge. No, you're good. And I'm a commercial loan officer here at First United Bank. I've been here for 2.5 years. And like Brooke said, I got to work alongside her as a partner in the community. And that's what we're really here to do is really inspire people to spend life wisely. And I do take pride in getting to know my clients and really help elevate them to impact their lives overall.
Awesome. So this is a fun topic. We had a chance to talk a little bit about banking and we were like, okay, maybe we could turn this into something that could be valuable. We are not the only ones here that will talk to you about an aspect of lending, but happen to represent the bank. And so lending with the bank sometimes looks a little different. And so we're really thinking about the top 3 things that a lender won't tell you, or maybe even the top 3 things that you might not know to prepare for the process. So before we even get into that, one of the key things about banking and about working with a bank for lending is knowing that every bank is different. There are going to be some underlying factors that they may look at the same way, but every bank is different. How they view your business, the types of industries they're gonna lend to, what their credit policies are, the things that we say yes and no to are going to be different. So it is imperative, as a start, it is imperative that you ask lots of questions that are relevant to your business to make sure that institution that you're working with is on your side and ready to lend for the type of business that you have.
A part of our goals here are to really help you get to that standpoint and providing you with resources, external or internal with inside the bank, and really making connections. And that's why it's important to have a true banking partner. Say, you know, I'm experiencing these challenges. How can you help me? And then vice versa. So it's really about having that partner to voice your concerns to, and then a trusted advisor.
So I think we need 2 mics because this is fun. You're right. I love it. Okay, so let's go into the top 3 things. We were really dialoguing about what is the key piece that a banker may not tell you or that you may not know. And one of the things I find, at least when I was in banking, is that a lot of times clients had no idea how valuable their banker was. And so as a banker, I think all of us have probably shared with people how important that relationship is. But I will say, as a person representing the same community of many of you that I see here, there's a lot of times that we don't understand how valuable it is, how important it is to walk through the doors and get to know somebody that can be your advocate. And that advocacy goes a very, very long way in your deal getting approved. Because what happens behind the scenes after we get all the paperwork and all the numbers is somebody is sitting at the table talking about you and talking about your business and talking about your plans and talking about why this relationship makes sense. So your banker should be one of those key people on your, I'll call it board of directors, and it's not technically a board of directors, but let's call this your personal team, right, that is helping your business grow. You need to know your banker really well. They should know you, your business, your kids, where you're from. They should know everything about who you are and what you want to do, because that advocacy is one of the biggest things that will help get your deal across the line to be approved and for your business to grow.
I think you said it very well. Clearly, that goes really into our character piece, is really gaining a rapport with our clients. I've had many clients before who have come to me that didn't really know how to grow and where they stood, but just gaining that relationship and understanding what their goals were allowed me to be an advocate for them when I went to get a loan approval.
Okay, the second piece that you might not know is how does lending even work, right? What is important? And I think most lenders are going to be looking at some of the same things, but we wanted to give you some key criteria that a bank will be evaluating for you, okay? So your cash flow has to be good. Cash flow is going to be a key piece. Your credit, depending on the bank, could be your business credit, could be your personal credit, could be one of the 2 or both. And then also looking at your industry. What does that entail? What does your industry come with? Would that industry that you were in, would you potentially have collateral or not? Would you need to guarantee a loan or not? So those are some of the key criteria that the bank is going to be evaluating. And certainly we could deep dive, but we got 5 minutes and we might be over time. And we can I'm not at the bank anymore. Kendra's at the bank. So I'm just so accustomed to this. It's been like 7 months. Everybody here from First United can give you information so they can actually sit down and have a conversation with you to deep dive into those key pieces. But we thought it would be important for you to know that some of the things that a bank is going to be looking at would be things that are important to your business and important to the bank. And one of the things I probably should have mentioned to begin with, think of the bank as a lender that is very risk averse. So banks typically have lending options that are lower interest, but they're very opposed to risk. So the neater, cleaner, better things look for you, for your credit, your cash flow, your industry, your collateral, those things are going to help you get a loan approved. Fabulous. I'll keep rolling because our 5 minutes is going to be done in a second if it's not already. And the last key thing, and I kind of spoke to it at the beginning, was the difference between a large and small bank. And I think that's important. I have spent my career, when I was in banking, I worked for a very large bank and I worked for a very small, I shouldn't say very small, community, family, loving bank, First United. It was fabulous. But one of the key things you need to know about that is sometimes as individuals and as business owners, you might see a big brand and a big name and it may be very familiar because their marketing is really good, but it doesn't mean it's going to be favorable for you when you need a banker or when you need a lending relationship. So remember I said that each bank has their own criteria. Keep in mind though, you need to have a banker that you can build a relationship with. And so in that difference between a small and a large bank, you are much more likely to be able to develop a relationship with a smaller bank so that that advocate can be at the table for you. And that smaller bank may also be able to provide you all the key criteria that you need to prepare for your lending relationship. So they can get you ready, they can walk you through the process, they'll be in good communication with you, and they'll be your advocate to help get that deal approved. You may not see that in other banks. And I say that because I think probably all of us have had clients that have come from larger banks and they come to us and they say, I don't know why I keep getting denied. I applied for a loan. I've worked with some people, they've applied multiple times and they have no clue why they keep getting denied, but they're at big bank, name one, and they get no feedback. And a smaller bank will likely give you all the information that you need to be able to go through the process, make good decisions in the process, and help you grow with your business. Okay, are we at time? We probably at time. All right, because I can talk forever. Thank you so much. It's so good to see you.
Thank you so much. Everybody give them another hand. Thank you. So I don't walk in here and forgot to click my own. Hold on. Okay. So I know you saw on the flyer that we were going to do a rocket pitch competition. Well, it was kind of a setup. But I did want to kind of speak on what a rocket pitch is. Has anyone ever done a rocket pitch? By hand, show of hands. Okay, good. I mean, we're going to learn something. All right. So basically, the purpose of a rocket pitch is so you can advocate for your business. You can sell your business in 30 seconds to 90 seconds. So it is also an elevator pitch, same thing. So the example is, what if Oprah Winfrey was on the elevator or Warren Buffett was on the elevator and you had 30 seconds before that door opened? Could you sell your business to them? Rocket pitch does the same thing. Typically, when you're trying to go to a bank or an investor and you're trying to get them to invest in your business. Now, reason why it's a setup tonight, because our next set of speakers will be your advocates. You won't have to have a rocket pitch. You won't have to go to the Shark Tank. Y'all seen Shark Tank, right? Where they go in there and they say, hello, sharks, my name is so-and-so, and I sell such and such. You don't have to do that. Why? Because we have a beautiful panel that is coming, and I'm just gonna let them start making their way to the front. And I'm gonna get my notes so I can say their names correctly. All right, so we have 4 speakers coming that are going to give you all the things that you need to prepare your business. So they actually work together. They're 4 different businesses, but they work together. And then they go talk to the bank for you. How about that? And you can just stay, you can produce and be creative, because that's what we do all day. We don't want to look at numbers and accounting. We good. We good on that. Let us create and be inventive and innovative. That's what we want to do. But these lovely people, come on to the front, Mr. Darrell Mitchell. He is our financial advisor. Then we have Soluto Uba. Did I say it correctly? Awesome. He is an attorney. And we have Miss Sierra Haynes. She is a CPA. And we have the man with the money, Trevorius Kennedy. He is also the president of CEO. But I will let them introduce their businesses. They're going to have the floor. Please take notes because y'all are going to drop some gems tonight. Thank y'all again, and the floor is yours.
All right, first up, no pressure.
My name is Darrell Mitchell. I am a financial advisor with a wealth management firm named Distinct Financial Solutions. We're based out of Denton, Texas. Been around for around 17, 18 years. It's 2 advisors and 2 office managers that run the shop. We're a boutique firm. We manage around. Shots here, you go.
Yeah, come here.
We manage around. I think we just crossed 100 million in assets under management. Our core competencies are what we do in details, but I'll talk back in just a second. But our core competencies is wealth management, investment management, retirement planning, qualified planning, and life insurance. There are a lot of creative things that you can do with those areas in regards to the tax planning realm as well. So we do a lot of that as well. So yeah, in regards to, right one. Sorry, okay. I don't know, funny daddy when it comes to technology, you know. And I understand the shots already, but I want to make sure everybody
You're good.
see
I
this.
got you.
And everybody sees okay. So in regards to becoming bankable, I want to start with a story. So my grandfather, God rest his soul, Aldridge Mitchell, was a serial entrepreneur. Right, he would start businesses just out of boredom, and he'd get them up and running, get bored, and go do something else. Right. But him and my father started this one particular business. It was a courier service that ran routes all throughout the Metroplex, and they built it up really well to where it was making around $50,000 to $60,000 a month. And this was in the early 90s. Right. So today's dollars, that was between $80,000 $90,000 a month. Well, my grandfather unfortunately got diagnosed with colon cancer, and he died in his early 60s. Okay, and when they were doing all the paperwork, getting everything ready for the funeral and everything, they found out that my grandfather didn't have a single penny to his name, and he had zero. It was so bad, y'all, that my dad had to take out loans to be able to bury him. He didn't even have a life insurance policy. So, and he died when I was very young, so I kept wondering, man, you know, as I got older, I kept thinking, how did this happen? How was he making all this money? How did he have all these resources, all these people around him, yet he found himself in this situation? It also taught me that there's a big difference between your business plan and your financial plan, or what I like to call your financial wealth system. Right? One of those things tells you how you're going to make the money. The other thing tells you what you're going to do with the money that you're making. Right? And the way you tell the difference between how they relate is in financial organization. This is usually the first step that we take part in whenever we talk with any business owner. Whether you're worth 7 to 8 figures, or whether or not you have a pot to piss in, a window to throw out of, like my old folks used to say, right? So financial organization is key, and hopefully you can kind of see this okay. A lot of times businesses aren't organized in order to become bankable, right? So this is our first step I mentioned. It's called an asset map, and the idea is we want to understand the relationship between all of your assets, debts, cash flow, all those things. Where is everything, and what is everything doing? That's the first step, and this is a huge, very important step, particularly in today's time and age, because we're in an information overload age, right? Like we are constantly consuming content. I remember reading an article one time that talked about, we consume more content, video, audio, and all these things. We consume more of that in one day than people used to receive in their entire lifetimes, right? So we are constantly receiving information all the time. Well, I used to think more information meant a good thing, but what it's actually doing is it's confusing people, because you've got a lot of different opinions going everywhere. When you have clarity like this in what we call our asset map, it helps you understand what things are beneficial to you and what things you should stay away from. A lot of times we'll spend a lot of time doing things that really aren't beneficial for where we're trying to win our business. And oftentimes we can get in our own way of establishing our own financial system. So the goal of financial organization is to help you work on your business and not just in your business, right? We like to help our business owners think of themselves not just as business owners, but as investors, right? And when you can understand when you can understand how your business relates to your time and your goals and who you are, then it will help you set yourself up for success in the long run and in turn become bankable. And that is my portion.
Thank you very much, Darrell. So I'm going to take this time with the screen being black as an extension of my time, which as an attorney is very helpful for me because I can talk if you give me the opportunity. So good evening, everybody. My name is Soluto Uba. I am the founder of the Uba Law Group. We're a law firm that makes the tax and the legal side of business easy to understand so entrepreneurs aren't scared out of pursuing their dreams. Now, when I say taxes, I don't mean taxes like my esteemed colleague Sarah Haynes, who's about to come and break it down for y'all. A lot of what we do is tax strategy. And the reason we do that, and the way that we do that, is by helping business owners understand what is kind of like Darrell said, can be very confusing and mystifying just in the age of TikTok and Instagram gurus and everybody telling you what to do with your business. Now, my story, I was entirely serious. As long as that thing is like, I'm just gonna continue to talk, and my presentation will not start until my presentation starts. So, just to tell you a little bit about myself, I did the traditional law firm life. Always knew I wanted to be an attorney. Always knew I wanted to be a lawyer. Did it. I used to live down here and commute downtown every day. Had my nice office. Had my plaques on the wall. But a few years in, I just kept on feeling there's got to be more. There's got to be more. There's got to be more. And it wasn't until that my wife and I were pregnant with our first son. Mainly, my wife was the pregnant one. That it really made me realize if I don't get out of this situation, I'm going to be trapped. I'm going to be stuck in this job. I'm going to be stuck in this profession, which is great, but isn't really giving me the financial freedom. So I retired from the law, and I thought I was done. I actually went to real estate investing, fix and flips, wholesaling, all that good stuff. And that's where I fell in love with tax strategy. But even though I thought I was retired from the law, when you're the attorney in the community, people still know you as a lawyer. They keep on coming to you for legal help. And I realized that business and entrepreneurship was the only thing that I really loved. So we founded the Uba Law Group in order to help people create businesses that are protected so that they can go pursue their dreams. So at the Uba Law Group, we primarily do three things. We help people form business entities. We help people clean up business entities that they might have formed themselves. We help people with a bit of tax strategy. I learned a lot of that in my real estate days. And there are many business owners who are paying Uncle Sam thousands and tens of thousands of dollars more than they have to every single year because they're uninformed and they don't have a strategy for what's going on with their money. As a business owner, you provide extreme service to the community, to society, and the government intentionally. The IRS, the tax code is built to incentivize you to do that. So you don't need to feel uncomfortable or awkward. You need to have a strategy. You need to work with professionals who are tax professionals so they can help you implement that strategy. So I'm going to be a little bit nice and let me just go ahead and get on with the presentation. But one of the main question that we want to present here as we're talking about whether or not your business is bankable. Thank you. The main question that we want to present here when we're talking about whether or not your business is bankable is your business naked? When I say is your business naked, I mean, are you exposed? If something were to go down and there was legal action, a lawsuit to hit, are you going to be legally responsible? So in order to answer that question, we have to really figure out what type of business you're operating. So you guys are excellent in the wedding industry, event industry, and you're doing all that stuff really well. But how are you operating? There are four main ways that we see people operate in business. First is a sole proprietorship, pretty easy to understand. You start your company, you just do it. You don't form any business entity, you're a sole prop. The convenient side is that, like I said, you can just start it. There are no real barriers to entry. The downside is you are 100% responsible for anything that happens. So if there's any legal action or a lawsuit, you and the business are the same thing. So they're coming after you personally, which means they can come after your personal assets, house, well, not in house, not in Texas, car, money under the mattress, assets, whatever. People can come after you personally if you're operating as a sole proprietorship. So I don't advise it. The second entity that we see a lot is what we call the partnership, general partnership. Another piece of slang for it is a joint venture. I'm in a joint venture agreement with somebody. Nope, that's a general partnership. Now, personally, I hate general partnerships. Don't do it. Bad idea. Don't do it. There are ways to partner with other businesses, but when we see people who are just sole proprietorships and they just partner with somebody else, I'm a person, you're a person, we partner together, it is a huge red flag because there are a lot of bad things that can happen. As a general partnership, you have what we call double liability. So you're responsible for anything that happens that's your fault. You're also responsible for anything that happens and that's your partner's fault. And so when we say you're responsible for it, we mean that, hey, if you and your partner are conducting business and your partner's doing the delivery, he's about to deliver something to a client, he's driving and he hits somebody and it's his fault and you total someone's car and they have $1 million in medical injuries. If you guys are in business together and that person was conducting business, the person who is injured can sue the guy that actually hit him or he can sue you. It's called joint and several liability. They can come after either person engaged in the business venture. So if you're in a general partnership, you don't have legal protection set up, you're both exposed. You're responsible for your stuff and the other person's stuff. Thirdly, we want to talk about corporations. Now, corporations do give you protection. Corporations are the oldest entity in the game. Everybody's heard of them. Coca-Cola, all these companies are corporations. Corporations are great, but for the vast majority of people who are business owners, you're probably not best served by the corporate entity structure because it gives you that protection. In case there's some legal action or something happens, you won't personally be responsible. However, corporations come with a few restrictive requirements to maintain it and to run it and actually keep that protection. And then on top of that, the worst thing about corporations is you are subject to double taxation. So when I say double taxation, I mean you're taxed at the corporate level, and then when you pay yourself a salary, you're taxed at your personal tax rate. So corporations are great because you're protected, but then you get hit with double taxation. That's why the majority of people that I would what I would recommend to majority of business owners is the LLC. LLC stands for Limited Liability Company, and with the LLC, you get that business protection, but you have a whole lot more flexibility. It's not as onerous with the requirements as a corporation, but then if something happens legally, the LLC is going to protect you. And so even if you want to partner with somebody, you guys can partner with your LLCs. So, I'll show mercy on you guys. I'm gonna make it short. I won't go as hard as this thing goes. But the one thing that I do want to leave you guys is we're talking about being bankable. What does it look like to be able to walk into a bank, financial institution, and present competently in a way that will make them favorable towards giving you a loan, and to make sure that you're presenting well. And just FYI, I know I'm sweating. This happens to me all the time because I'm not nervous. I just sort of run at you. So well, most likely, this happens. I'm going to pull this out of my head, and then we'll be good. So the last thing that I want to leave you guys with is just a statement that I say all the time. When we talk about having an LLC, we talk about having a business entity actually set up to protect you, to enhance your status, to make you look bankable, to have your stuff together when you're walking into a financial institution. But the reality of the situation is a lot of people will just go online, they'll go to the Secretary of State's office, they'll go to some website and they'll click, and 5 minutes later they get a piece of paper and they think they have an LLC. An LLC is more than just a piece of paper from the state. Anybody can do that. I've actually timed myself. I can go on the Secretary of State's website and in 3 minutes and 5 seconds, I can fill out the paperwork. It's not hard. But what I tell my clients is you don't need a piece of paper from the state. Only a piece of paper from the state is not what gives you an LLC. You don't want to have a paper LLC. You want to have a performing LLC, because that performing LLC is what's going to give you that peace of mind and that confidence that your business is actually set up right. The performing LLC is what's actually going to protect you in the event that there is legal action, so your personal assets aren't at stake. So when you're creating a performing LLC, there are 2 main pillars that you want to have in it. We can talk about that later, but the reality of the situation is just know that it's way more than just having a piece of paper. I get calls all the time from professionals in the financial institution. That guy hit me up at whatever o'clock at night, had a person that had a real estate deal. They're trying to close on a property. They're trying to get financing, trying to get funding. They had an LLC. They had a paper LLC, and they have nothing in order. So we had to hustle, do it really quickly. But because their stuff was together, their deal fell through. We don't want this to happen to you, especially as y'all are in the phases of really moving off of that startup mode and beginning to take off. Don't set yourself up for failure, and also don't make a bad impression with people at the bank who are human beings like you need, and they're evaluating, hey, how likely is this person to be a good candidate for funding? So when we talk about being bankable, we want you to have a business that's set up properly. We want you to have that confidence that, hey, I can stretch my wings and fly a little bit because I know the business is set up the right way for success. So make sure you don't just have a paper LLC, but you want to have a performing LLC so you can go to the bank and become bankable. Now, the other step of doing that is making sure that your financials are on point, and to do that, you need a killer CPA. So I'd like to introduce you to one.
Yeah. Or am I the only one here that, I know you guys are creatives. I'm not a creative at all. Like, give me numbers. I can't even match my clothes sometimes. This was on the right. But yes, I'm Sierra with Sierra Haynes CPA. So we handle all things accounting. So whether that's monthly financials, tax preparation, IRS issues, we handle those as well.
We primarily work with professional service providers, restaurants, nonprofits. So you guys fall underneath that realm. No PowerPoint. My things are really simple, right? Or for me, they're really simple. There are 3 things whenever you are going to a bank that they are going to ask you for. They're going to ask you for your bank statements, your financials, and your tax returns. I apologize if this sounds really simple and you guys had it together, but I just always want to make sure I say it. Have a business bank account. Don't commingle your funds, like Soluto mentioned. Separation of the person and the business, correct? Whenever you start using your business account as your personal piggy bank, you have now done what they call piercing the corporate veil, right? So whenever you do that, you now set yourself up. If someone were to take you to court, how can you actually prove that I am separate? Sierra is separate from Sierra Haynes CPA. If I'm using my business bank account to go to the dentist or to buy my daughter cleats or whatever, I've commingled my funds, and now they are subject to, if I get into a lawsuit, right, like they're now going to look at my personal items as well. So make sure you have a business bank account, set that up, LLC, go to the bank, open it up. Next thing, business financial statements. That is going to be, someone mentioned earlier, cash flow statements. So that's going to be there's 3 financial statements that they're looking at: your profit and loss, your balance sheet, your cash flow statement. I always recommend, obviously I'm a CPA, hire someone, especially if you don't know how to do it. But there are people who like DIY, like they don't have the funds to go out and hire a bookkeeper whenever they first start their business. I'm all for DIY. People will ask me, well, when should I hire an accountant? I give them 2 answers. Whenever you don't know how to do it yourself, or whenever you are so busy you can no longer do it. Don't be that person that is waiting until the end of the year to try to get your financials together for tax time. You're not going to remember in April what you did in January of last year. So I always recommend QuickBooks Online. You want to connect that with your business bank account. I always say, start off with QuickBooks Simple Start. There's another version, it's called QuickBooks Self-Employed. If any of you guys have that, ditch it. The reason I say don't use QuickBooks Self-Employed is because it does not have a balance sheet. You go to a bank, you try to pull your financials, it's not going to produce a balance sheet for you. QuickBooks Simple Start, you can always increase it. Wave is actually free. I'm not a fan of Wave, but it is a free accounting software. Invest in tracking your profitability. I always say you can't grow what you don't know. So aside from going into a bank and trying to get funding, right? Like you as a business owner, you can't grow your business if you don't know your numbers. You guys are all in the wedding industry, correct? How are you tracking your projects? When I say a project, an event, how are you tracking if it's profitable? With QuickBooks Online, you can go in, you can track not just your overall income, but you can track, depending on the subscription, you can track how much money did I make on this particular event? Do I need to raise my prices, right? Like you don't know that if you are just operating and just spending money, bringing money in, and you're not tracking the numbers. If you hire a bookkeeper, make sure they are knowledgeable. I see it all the time. Obviously, always cost is a factor. I'm not gonna act like it's not. Cost is a factor. Some people will go with a cheaper bookkeeper. Make sure they are knowledgeable, they know accounting, and they know your industry. Unfortunately, for our industry, anyone can go out and say, I'm a bookkeeper. I see it all the time on Facebook, right? I see some, no offense, I see stay-at-home moms say, I want to do something, I want to earn some money, I'm going to be a bookkeeper. Never taken accounting class a day in their lives, right? Like, accounting is more than just categorizing your income and expenses. You have to know what's deductible, what's not. Hire someone that is knowledgeable. It makes tax time 100 times easier. Whenever you have your stuff together, you come to me at tax time, you give me your profit and loss, you give me your balance sheet, it's easy. Tax returns. Most bankers are going to ask for at least 2 years of tax returns. Depending on the size of the loan, they may even go back 3 years. So you want to start planning before you even go and sit with a banker. You want to make sure you are showing a profit. No one is going to lend you money if you are in the red for the last 3 years. It just makes it, again, they talked about risk. It makes it really hard, to lend to a non-profitable business. Business returns, they're going to ask you for personal returns, business returns, and if you say you have employees, thank you, Sir Jay. You guys have gotten it together. That was not a dig, I apologize. And your payroll returns. So those are gonna be your 940s, your 941s if you say you have payroll. Common issues that I see and that bankers see, no personal business returns filed. You need to make sure that you are caught up on your business filings. Improperly filed return. So if you say you are a partnership, you should be filing a 1065. There cannot be two separate LLCs, right? If you are a partnership. If you are an S corp, you need to file an S corp return, not an LLC or a Schedule C. This one is what we see. I've seen a lot of crazy things, especially start of 2020. You know, the housing market, it was going, everything was good. Guys, do not listen to salespeople who try to tell you how to file a tax return. Those are going to be your real estate agents. They are in it. They are salespeople. I've heard of real estate agents telling people, and I've seen it, don't put your business expenses on your tax return. You want to inflate your income and then go back after you've acquired the loan, go back and do an amended tax return. Y'all looking confused? I know someone's heard it. That is bank fraud, wire fraud, federal charges. You will go to jail. You will go to jail. And not only that, but some people don't know this, the IRS does not have to accept an amended return. So you could have filed this return, right, with this plan of I'm gonna go back and change the numbers or I'm gonna do everything and not have this huge tax bill. They don't have to accept it. So make sure your returns match the transcripts. They will pull an 8821. Some banks, again, each bank or lender is different. They'll pull an 8821. So want to make sure that those match. And now, everyone's favorite money man.
The stream needs you on the mic, sorry.
It's for you guys. My name is Trey Wars Kennedy. I'm the CEO and president of Kennedy Investments. We are a small brokerage firm. We actually do transactions up to $5 billion. And so what I mean by brokerage firm is that I have access so right here. So we're probably on alternative group that says business owners and real estate investors will preserve working capital to provide financial options for their business. So what I mean by preserve working capital, I have a client that I talked to yesterday that kind of made this hit home a lot harder to me. He has a gym in Fort Worth, Texas, and he's just looking at me just pissed because he doesn't own the building, and the landlord is having expenses like super high, like it's $10,000 above our rent. It's crazy, yeah. And he's trying to negotiate, trying to go on top of fighting. And then I met him yesterday, and his gym needs an AC unit in there, or he can't. Or when the summer heat comes, about the money. So I said, how much do it cost to put an AC in there? So I don't know nothing. About $200,000. I said, what? Seriously, $200,000? That's crazy. And I said, with $200,000 with proper financing, I know you qualify for, would probably buy you about, let's see, a minimum $1 million property. Instead of putting air conditioning on somebody else's stuff that's fixed. You can't take it with you, you leave. You know what I mean? And stuff like that happens all the time. And like, I was like, oh my God. This particular client, minority owner, 7-figure earner, but he never took his loan out a day in his life. He didn't have no clue how that even works. And stuff like that is it's really exciting about what we do for clients. Being a lender is great. I tell people all the time, you got access to capital and just somebody that you can help out and you trust them, you like them. It makes it easier for us to do our job. It really does. So next slide. So the business models that we do support a lot of your needs. You can grow your business, you acquire a business, get a line of credit. I tell a lot of people when it comes to line of credit that a lot of people get confused sometimes. is that they come to us, like Sierra said, when they're losing money. Don't do that. I recommend you guys talk to a banker when you're doing good. Promise you, just talk to them. You don't want nothing. Go talk to them because they want a relationship with you. It's very important, that relationship. That's like Tia said earlier. Having a bank relationship is like, to me, the number one thing that can change everything in your business. And access to capital can change a lot of different things. Next slide, real quick. All right, so our company, we can lend we actually lend globally, but I try to stay in America as much as I can, not industry restricted. However, we try our best to do a case by case relationship, more about relationship than anything. If we know for a fact that some things are happening in your business, as long as you're honest, we probably can figure out a solution for it. But as soon as you be dishonest towards me, that's when I block everything. Like there's no point. There's no point because like imagine you get a business partner, they're starting off just not telling the truth. There's nothing to talk about. Just walk away immediately. That's the best thing to do. It's love, please. All right. So this is application process. So I'm not gonna go over this slide because the main thing is that don't fill out no application until you talk to, like they said, at the back test. Cool. This is what I want to get right here. Why are we together? Why do you have a wealth manager, a capital provider, CPA, a law group? Why do you have all of them together? So right now, I'll tell you guys a story about two very, very famous people and how one is basically how they ended up after they passed away. How long did their wealth last? If that makes sense. So the next slide. I'm gonna go back. Okay. So the first family is Rockefeller. Okay. The second family is the Vanderbilt. All right. So what we are a family office. What we do, we sit down with entrepreneurs and we look at take a conference. I'm sorry. It's been a family office. Sorry about that. So family office is, so the Vanderbilts, what they did is kind of what my family does. They get a lot of money. They don't talk to no professionals. They keep it to themselves, and the money rots because it's not going to interest, and then it goes straight to whatever. Over here, Rockefeller had a family office. Now, what that concept is, have you ever heard that concept before? A family office? Anybody? Yeah, you have. Okay, not everybody. So a family. So imagine this. So as business owners, we're taught that hey, we need to hire good A players only, the top quality people to help us run our business operations, right? So a family offers the exact same thing. The difference is that all your financial professionals work for you. So imagine you had a department of people that help you grow your business. Sierra, Soluto, Darrell, we know your plans. We can actually predict pretty far in the future with you. We sit down there and do a great comprehensive plan, get everything correlated, everything choreographed to make sure that your business is making sense from quarter to quarter, so stuff like that. And that right there is the main difference. So right here, step with wealth, I have access to a lot of different capital sources. Not only banks, I got access to pension plans, family office funds, access to high net worth individuals, insurance companies, so many different ways to raise capital. I had a young lady in Canada who was on the phone recently, and she needed to get financing for a construction project. I said, go to the insurance company. She said, what? I said, you go talk to them. They got all that money. All they do, like, it's like they buy anything, they sell air. They sell air. It's signature. No cost. So after we went over there, she raised $50 million on a napkin, and everything was spelled wrong. Yeah. But there's a reason why, because I had a relationship with them, and her file already had it correct. Send over to them. I said, we'll talk to them. And boom. So they're ready. I was ready for it. So that's the power of having a relationship, banker as a partner in your whole business. Because I talk to a lot of people. I say, hey, you have an accountant? I'm gonna say out of 10 people, 2 will say yes. I say, you got a lawyer? Out of same scenario. Have a banker? No. I don't know. Well, yeah, that's where the money comes from. I was reading a book about self-improvement, which is had me laughing. I read a book about self-improvement, and this guy, he kept robbing the bank over and over and over again. And they was like, why you robbing the bank? He said, that's where the money's at. So my main point is like the banks, we're flush with cash. We got a lot of things to give you guys. We got a relationship built so we can give it to you. So I really want to encourage us to start building relationships, not only with bankers, but with a professional team that can actually serve you guys, entrepreneurs. But, go ahead. Then we'll go back. So go back real quick. Sorry about that. I'm not clicker. All right, and this guy, he had limited access to funds. Over here, dedicated team focused on risk management and diversification. What I mean by that, this actually was kind of mind-blowing to me. I was actually in a board meeting. I was shadowing somebody, and he was pitching this big deal, astronomical number. I couldn't even think that high at that time. Or where I come from, we don't say those numbers. And so, what was crazy is that the family office wasn't helping. The family office concept, what they was doing, it was helping the entrepreneur save money. It was helping him grow it. I mean, like, how can I put it? So the first step of family office is taxes. You want to reduce taxes. That's just free cash. If you can get it down correct, and that cash you could they was taking that money and they was investing that money, not the profits. I'm like, whoa, that's different level of thinking right there. So I'd be like, okay, I never thought about it. That's my free capital in that type of sense. And then not only that, the business was profitable. So it's like they had one business, but they made money like 8 different ways off like the same dollar. It was like, oh wow, never seen in my life. Next, expensive network and advice. Go back. Expensive network. I was talking to myself. I'm sorry. Expensive network and advice and opportunities. Some people are here today because I invited them. I thank you guys for coming out. And yet they're here because they want to meet other entrepreneurs, other people trying to get their network built. And sometimes for lenders, we have a Rolodex of people they probably meet. Like I know people who have venues that are trying to sell it right now. I don't know if anybody interested, but I'm not trying to make a pitch or anything. But the main thing is that sometimes you just mess people up. My lawyer is the reason. How's that right now? I got from one of my lawyers. I got like 18 lawyers. So my lawyers, he basically like my point is for professionals, they know where the deal is at. They know where the good stuff is at. Imagine professionals giving you deals, or giving you leads, stuff like that. You know it's already vetted. So it's just a whole different way of living. Over here, in this family, they need to invest time to build a network instead of just being given a network. Number two, long-term strategic plans for building their wealth. The tragic story is this. The Vanderbilt family, their wealth lasted, I think, about 40 years because he had no family office that helped them grow it or protect it to keep going. That family lasted for 6 generations. So 6 generations, about 25 years. So about what, 150 years? Yeah, 150 years. So that's a big difference. And where I come from, of course, Texas, single mom, we didn't have none of that. We was trying to eat for tomorrow, not for the next 100 years. So when I noticed that this is what they're doing, is that they had a team of financial professionals helping them grow their business, not only for today, but generationally, multi-generationally. And that's kind of what we're trying to get back to our community, to work together, because it's kind of weird to see all these people together working for one entrepreneur. Imagine how much that would cost you to get people like that together, work for you. Yeah, quarterly pay, stuff like that. And the last thing is philanthropic support. And over here, he can do because he has the resources. I actually got invited to be part of the board recently, and I'm really excited about that. It's actually nonprofit, and what they do, they feed 300 kids a day. It's kind of like, whoa, that is, and it's here in Dallas. And the only bad thing is they're not well known. They're not well known at all. So some clients I have right now, they kind of are looking for different type of tax strategies, and that's a good one. It's really a good one. I recommend people take that out, take a look at it, talk with your CPA, talk with your advisors and whatnot, talk with your legal team, and start looking at different options how you can preserve wealth, how you can impact the community, and do this, and just do this. How to put it? Just get a team together, get your mind right. Please, please do that. Please, like, no, because you won't believe how many opportunities I get across my desk. I'm like, your team is not non-existent, and you're trying to get a set free along by yourself. We know you need a board of directors, you need a lot of different people involved, not just by yourself. And they really think they should deserve it. Like, oh wow. Oh wow, this is different. But no, final slide. All right, so this is our QR code. Some of the websites are not working for some odd reason. So this has actually all our links on there. If you want to take a picture of it, set a time with us. We all do free consultations. We would love to sit down with you, get a good plan put together. But the main thing is the benefits of working with us is, number one, the expertise in finance, tax, legal, estate planning, and more importantly, as an entrepreneur, you have the data to make correct decisions now. You have a second opinion. As an entrepreneur, you need a second opinion, a professional opinion. Number two, access to capital and determined sources, financial risk management, diversification, network and other entrepreneurial business leaders, and it's basically the legacy of your family. So that's my time. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Let's give all of them another hand. That was amazing. So I'm just going to summarize in my own way. Is that okay? So basically what he said was, you need to hire the right people in the right places, build those relationships, have that advocacy. They'll speak for you. They'll build your business so you can work on what you need to work on, build your relationships. They'll take care of your money. Pretty much, right? Okay. So you don't have to stress trying to work 2 or 3 jobs and trying to do part-time and trying to do Uber Eats and trying to take every little virtual assistant job you can take. You don't have to do that, right? Because you hire the right people, they'll put you in the right place, right? Amen. All right. So we are going to keep it moving. And I don't know what slide I'm supposed to be on, but I'm just going to do the next thing. And I know because we're going to just use a little clipboard. All right. So we're going to take a break. Everyone, please stand. Please stand to your feet. Because I know we normally move around. We normally play a game. But it was so much information. I wanted all y'all to get all of this. So hopefully you were able to take. Now, everyone, reach high. I need you to stretch and say, I'm claiming enlarged territory. I'm going to use the resources. They're going to benefit my business. And next year is going to be better than before. Hey, all right. Don't breathe. Gotta remember where I am. So, right.
They standing on the chat.
Hey.
On the stream.
So we're just gonna take a real quick break. We have Anna from the bank, and I want you to speak, but I just want them to have a mental break for just a moment. So we have Sean and Arlene. I saw her. There she is. So they are from Mentors Care. Come on up. Don't be shy. We're family. So we're gonna do this Good Morning Texas style. Okay, I'm just gonna interview. So thank you guys for coming. So they are from Mentors Care. They are a nonprofit organization. So basically, they do one-on-one mentorship with high schoolers, and they also do events at the end of the year to celebrate their accomplishments. In a nutshell, did I get that right? Awesome. So could you tell us just a little bit about the one-on-one mentorship and how we, as entrepreneurs, small business owners, could support that?
Yes, so one word that I heard the gentleman talk about is relationship building. And so our target audience are at-risk high school students. And these kids are at risk mainly of not graduating, but even before that, they're living through crises that is hindering them or could hinder them from graduating. So our whole thing is we recruit mentors to come into the schools 1 day a week for 1 hour and do life with these kids. Before they can even concentrate on being the best student, they're trying to figure out how they're going to eat when they get home, or even if they have a home, or even if they're going to hear, I love you today. And so we get to find and connect with mentors or individuals in our community to come and be a safe place, a confidential place, someone to give back, and be an example or a role model for them to receive some hope so their ladder can be greater beyond where they're at in their current situation.
So we know we're going to get questions to pledge to say, I want to go on. Please tell me more. Awesome. You see these hands, see the hands, I see hands. Okay, make sure you see these two individuals before you leave tonight so they can get your information, get you set up. But I also, because the person that I am, I'm another child, she's a social worker, so I have a heart. We are event professionals. That's what we do. This room, we could plan an entire event in 5 minutes. And it could be, we operate in so you have events at the end of the year where you celebrate these wonderful children. Could you tell us more on how we could support you?
Yeah, so we're currently in 15 schools. Most of our schools are Ellis County. We have 2 Dallas County schools. But we used to have one big event at the end of the year, but we have 50 to 60 students in our program each school. That's too many people to put in one place, and we don't have that many kids in one place. So we've broken it up now. We go to each individual and set up it's a lunch. We do food, something similar to what we've done in the past. Sandwiches, something quick. But it's all about focus on the kids. We want to bring a mentor with them to sit at a table. We want the event to look nice. We want this kid to feel special. Most of our kids go home and there's nothing special about them home. There's nothing special about them in most of their life. And we want that one day, that each week having that time with their mentor, we want that to be special as well. But we want to celebrate these kids at the end of the year. And so we've used non-professionals just to decorate. So imagine us stopping by Dollar Tree thinking that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's good. Imagine just me doing that. And I have no eye for design. I saw the food and I was like, I'm sold right here. I'm good. And so we do what best we can, but our focus is not events. Our focus is mentoring kids. And so if that is something that you do, and some of you said, yes, I want to do the one-on-one mentoring, and some of you didn't raise your hand, and that's fine. Not everybody has that in them. It's tough to sit down and talk to a teenager. You know, you don't think it should be overwhelming, and you shouldn't be worried about it, but it's daunting. You're sitting there, you've got a couple of stuff to talk about. But if you want to give back, but you don't want to do the one-on-one, if you want to give back and set up and help us do those end-of-year events, we have, like I said, we have 15 schools right now. We're adding 2 more schools. We're Ellis County. We're in every high school in Ellis County. We're in 2 schools in Dallas County. Now we're moving south to the Navarro County. We're going to be in Hillsborough and Corsicana. And so we're going to continue growing. So 2 ways is, one is definitely if you have the eye that I don't have, obviously you're here and I was back there in the corner, you know what you're doing in your field. We're not in that field. So if you want to donate that, or if you want to help with that, not even just donate, but let us know what you do. Because again, we have in 15 communities with mentors and people that come into the school, and some of them are saying, hey, my daughter's getting married, I need to find an event, a wedding planner. They're not asking me to plan their wedding, they're asking if I know somebody. So I want to connect, network. I want to get to know what y'all do so that we can take that back to our people as well, the people that we're in contact with. So definitely, I'm so glad that we invited this, that we can connect with y'all. We also, we do a golf tournament, but it's way out in Fort Worth, and I don't play golf either, so the food is there. So the fat guy's there. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So I expect to see some of our event professionals donate their services, donate their products, help that event become even bigger, because you know how we do. We'll turn something small and make it huge. There's balloons, there's photo booths, there's planners, there's floors, there are DJs, there's lighting, there's stationery, there's everything you can think of is in this room. So Their information will be in the recap email, but please, if you can't connect in person, obviously that is even more powerful. So let's give them one more hand. And we move right along because I jammed this meeting full. So if we could have the host of the venue come up. My new queen. It's my new homie. So she is Anna. Did I say it right? Yes. Anna Karen. There's actually two Annas at this branch. So she's Anna Karen Cruz. Are you the other Anna? Yes. See there? We got the two Annas that are so gracious and let us hang out in their boardroom. Y'all thank them for that. So we have heard from almost everybody, right? It's been setups. We've had the top 3 things that the bank lender won't tell you. We've had a little snippet. You can always do a whole meeting just about that. And then we had the fabulous 4 over here just dropping left and right. I mean, just God damn. They gonna set you up. What did he say? 60? What did he say? 66 generations, 150 years. Like what? We're just trying to book 23. So Anna is here. The Annas are here because we cannot be in their house and not give them an opportunity to show us and tell us the benefits of being a customer of First United Bank. So I'm gonna do the same thing. This is my thing, I'm a host. Could you tell us some of the small business programs that could be beneficial to the people in this room?
Anna is doing that just because she is our business development officer. So we partner out. She does us on site where we go and visit businesses, and she has amazing programs. So I'm gonna leave this to her. So super excited to be here. I do this for a living. I talk, but I've been up since 6 in the morning. I started in Denton, but I'm super excited to be here. So I think everybody that has gone ahead of us made our job easy because they're like, build a relationship with the bank, make a relationship with the bank, get to know your bank. And the introduction to First United and what we can speak of, how we actually don't like to talk about products because that's not how we do it. We always start to get to know you. We want to make sure that we get to know your business and how can we help you. We are a bank, of course. We offer everything. Whatever you need, we got it. So, of course, small business accounts are free, no minimum balance, no requirements. But I hate talking about products because that's not our goal. We want to make sure that we understand how you're working and how can we actually help you and get to know your story and what can we do. But we do have programs for small businesses, for nonprofit programs. So we do a lot with the community because we're a community bank and that's what we want to do. And I know I say Latin shaking his hand because I think he can actually come in and introduce the bank. He's a customer and he always talks so well of us, but that's the mission. So thank you for that.
With that, if you're a customer of First United Bank, just show of hands real quick. Would you recommend 5-star? 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 All right, there you go. Testimony. Is there anything that you would like to add?
All right, so I'm gonna talk about a little bit about the bank. Already Brooke mentioned that we're not just like a regular bank. We've worked at bigger bank. We've worked at bigger banks where it was every employee, every customer was nothing. It was just another number. Here at First United Bank, I can tell you that we are a big family. Not just here on the retail team, but absolutely we are a whole team. From our lenders, our officers, our mortgage officers, everybody becomes a family. Now we are so involved in the community, and that's something that I absolutely love about this bank. This is not the same thing as a Chase, Bank of America. Everybody has mentioned, we build relationships with our clients. We know their stories, their backstories, their kids' names, they're going on vacation, how was their vacation, things, and our clients love that. They come to us, They love that we remember, that we ask about their personal life. And I think building that relationship, having that with clients, just they bring their business. They recommend us. I was telling her earlier this week or last week that my card has been floating around. They came to me, they're like, hey, are you Anna Karen? I'm like, yes. It's like, somebody gave me your business card. It's like, the conversation just flows. And everybody, I've met so many nonprofits, thanks to Anna, she's been so amazing. And from there, building that connection with her and other clients just kind of moved. And they've seen us as a family. They trust us with money. And the fact that, it tells us a lot. Money is their money, they're living. So we have our 4 pillars. The bank has our 4 pillars. We are a faith-based bank. One of our pillars is a faith. Our second pillar is financial well-being, personal growth, and health and wellness. So a lot of the times we make sure that we focus on those. We explain to our clients how important these pillars are to us. We've had clients who, even though we probably not believe in the same religion, but we go by the faith, your faith. We don't discriminate. We love your faith. If you want us to pray for you, you're going through something, you're more than welcome to do that. And it doesn't matter your religion. We've had hosted yoga classes in the park, and that is another pillar, our wellness pillar. We also teach financial literacy classes with Anna, and we've gone to a bunch of programs that we go out there, we explain about the bank, and we don't turn anybody down. We open accounts with absolutely any ID, prison ID, international ID. So we don't turn anybody down. We are a second chance bank. That's another plus. We have our financial well-being. That was probably my favorite, because a lot of people, the fact that we care about them and their finances and how to get there. We've helped clients save up to a trip with our savings, how to grow their small savings account. And it might not be a big difference to us or to anybody, but just having them save $500 that they weren't able to do that a few months ago, it means a lot to them. So that is one of the perks that we have, one of the most amazing things that we have as a bank. We encourage, like Brooke said and Kendra said, that we encourage everybody to spend their life wisely. And it could be absolutely anything, enjoying a hobby, going back to school, whatever you want, whatever you feel like spending your life wisely means to you, you can always talk to us. We encourage you to spend your life wisely. And that's the name of our community room, actually, Spend Life Wisely. You want to add something?
Something real quick. One of our pillars that you mentioned, let me just back up a little bit. Our mission is to actually elevate 10 million lives by 2030. And we do that by all the pillars that she mentioned, and it's not just by making people, but she mentioned personal growth. I made her talk today because she wants to do this, so I want her to be more comfortable. So please give her a round of applause, because I know she was very nervous. She did good. She did great.
Awesome.
Awesome. I don't know about y'all. Again, I'm just gonna be me. I don't want to be a customer where they praying over my money. Versus you taking out a little $2 because I didn't use my card this week. You charge me because you holding my money. So, just that alone, God has me sold. Because I'm at a point where I'm trying to elevate and I'm trying to make my money grow and do things where I don't have to spin the wheel all day like a little hamster. I want to enjoy my life. I'm almost 35, and I look at my dad and I don't want to be tipping because I was working and cooking 18 hours a day. I don't want to live like that. So that is why this meeting just happened. It just kind of flowed. It started off with one speaker. Well, actually started a whole nother venue. The venue canceled. We end up coming here, which is an even better setting for what we're talking about. And then the speakers just organically grew. It started with Sir Jay and Jolie told me about the bank, told me about Brooke, turned to Darrell. He said, well, who all coming? Because I got a whole team. Well, come on, team. So I sounded to say, relationship capital. I mean, I know we're talking about money, and money is important because you cannot live without money. It's very true. You cannot have love without money too. But relationship capital is world. Y'all caught that? So as I conclude, we want to thank all speakers. Speakers, please see me. I have something for you. So please don't leave without it. But we have some announcements from our founder, president, Miss Raythita Jackson.
I'm gonna piggyback on what Cece said. I feel like I have been blessed and my toes have been stepped on a little bit because I feel like I gotta get my whole life in order. So I hope that you guys were able to gain some amazing information. Thank you to all of our speakers. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Thank you for taking the time to impart your knowledge to us so we can continue to grow and be better. I have a few announcements as we are wrapping up our evening. We are in discussions to do a retreat for us in January. And I want to go ahead and start putting those plans in order. But in order to do that, I want to be able to get an idea of those who are interested. We will be doing it January 21st through 24th, 2024 in Cancun, Mexico. We want to be able to present a non-retreat retreat. So what that means is you are going to get a little bit of information. You are going to be able to bond with your fellow vendors. You are going to be able to mastermind a little bit, but we don't want you to come back more exhausted than you left. We want you to be able to have time to plan, to dream, to grow, to journal, to prepare for the year. So we're going to be presenting you guys with some information about that. We will be getting that going pretty soon. So please look out for it. We would love for all of you, even our speakers, you guys are welcome to come and mastermind with us. That I am not a certified tax professional, so I was not going to say that, but we want to do enough to make it a tax write-off while we're enjoying the paradise and the relaxing waters and the spa and the adult beverages. I will stop there. And the communing with our fellow vendors. So I'm going to send out, we're going to get all that information together for you. In order to reserve your spot, it is $100 to reserve your spot. We have a travel partner already lined up, one that works with myself and all of my clients. And the link will be set up. It's $100 to get started, and we can break it up into payments. I think 60% is due by August. I apologize. 60% by August, and final paid in full will be November. So I'll get all that information to you guys. In addition, we are planning, how many of you guys went to our gala in December? Meanwhile, our speakers, you guys are also invited to the gala. It's a great time. It's the time of the year where we celebrate our wins and our accomplishments. We work hard during the year, so we get to party a little bit. Because of the retreat we were planning for January, we are now planning to move the gala to February. So it is still a thing. It is still going to happen. The last 2 years for December has been a little bit hard for our vendors because December is corporate everything for everyone. So date to be announced, but it will be happening in February. If you're not able to make the retreat, we will still have the gala and we will celebrate together. Next, Party Fest. How many of you were a part of Party Fest last year? For those of you who don't know, Party Fest is basically a bridal show B2B for wedding and event professionals. And as an organization, we were the first Black-founded wedding event professional organization to be showcased at that event. And we have been asked to come back again. So we have to up-level it. We got to do some things. We haven't started planning what our booth is going to look like, but we don't play no games. again, our speakers, you guys are all invited to come. It's a good time. It is a good time. And it happens Wednesday, put it on your calendars, Wednesday, August 30th. And it's from 11 to 4. So it is a long lunch, but it's Wednesday, August 30th, and it is at Dallas Market Hall. And it is free. So
it is?
Come on, yes. You have to register. They send us a link. So those of you who have attended a meeting will be sent the link. So we will send everyone the link and you will get to go for free. You'll get to meet all the wedding professionals locally that also service both wedding and corporate. So from top to bottom. Next, we have our upcoming meetings. If you want to know everything that we have going on, the dates, the times, and locations, please check our website, chicnetwork.net. That is CHICNETWORK.net. We have our calendar for the year, so you can start to block that off and prepare, so you will be able to join us. One thing we want to do for the sponsors that have come tonight, Chef Amber, Tashina, and all of our speakers, we would like to be able to leave them a Google review because, the internet is a thing. So we will send all of that information out. You have experienced her good food tonight. Please leave her a review about your firsthand experience about tasting her delicious cuisine so she can get that higher ranking. She has that new space. We got to pay those bills, get that paid off, and get debt free. Amen. Amen.
So,
as we wrap up tonight, our VP of membership, Ashika, is here. If you are not currently a member and would like to join our amazing organization, we are fully inclusive and open to all. You are more than welcome. We have a yearly fee of $75 for membership if you are coming in brand new. And our meetings are $25 for members and $45 for non-members. So please talk to Ms. Ashika over there and we can get you signed up to join our group and our crew. Please make sure those of us who are members, we really want to help those in Mentors Care. We can get some things together for you. We will pledge to do a few. I'm going to talk to the committee, but we're going to get some things in the works for you guys because there are so many of us and we don't want to forget where we came from. We're first-time entrepreneurs. We came from situations where most people probably didn't think we could be where we are. So we always want to give back to those who are not yet there. And in my experience, and I don't know if this is everyone's, but usually the more I give, the more I get. That feeds me more than anything. So we will definitely be in touch with you as we go throughout this year. And with that, we are going to, yes. Oh, amen. So not only does she bless us with the good food, she has some to-go boxes for the leftovers. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Chef Amber. Oh, validation tickets, do they need to see you?
No. So before you leave, you got parking, your ticket, grab one of this, you scan that, and then you scan this, so you don't have to pay.
Thank you. Where will they be located? Right here? Okay. Come right up here, validation tickets. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. I want to charge you with meeting someone whose face you never seen before this night. The relationship capital is a thing, so let's keep it going. You guys have a wonderful night. Drive safe, and I look forward to seeing you guys next month.
I put your thing here. I tried to do it, but I messed it up.
That's all good.
I didn't know how to wrap
I gotta pack all this up.